Hello, chat. Welcome in, everyone. How we doing tonight? Happy Friday to you. I am Chef JJ. And if you're unfamiliar with me, I cook here live on Twitch and YouTube 4 nights a week. We're going to be making some pitas tonight. Grilling using grill pan, not actually grilling some chicken. Gonna make a cucumber and chicken salad for inside the pitas, and then going to fry up some taters to go along with it. Welcome in, Will. Happy to see you, JK. Welcome. Welcome, they can see me. Not happy. Not sure what I'm going to do with my mobile kitchen / trailer that no one on chat has really seen. Place I've been storing with has changed ownership. And yeah. They've done just about all that they could to ruin my trust in them so far today. But otherwise, I've had a pretty great day. Got all that first of the month stuff done. Ooh. That's always interesting. Lots of learning, if only learning how they do it. Hopefully everyone's had a good finish to their week. Looking forward to the weekend. Rest time. Relaxation time. Probably a good idea to just wash my hands in general right now. Ah! Is the bot going nuts? It seems to have stopped. Thank you for joining me, everyone. Cheers. Whatever you feel like. Hello, narrator. Where do I start with tonight? Yeast, I think. That's the wrong space, but I'm going to use it anyways. I had a big spoon in the small spoon slot. This is a high yeast recipe. High yeast captions. Starting to get foamy already. Already got some bubbles going there. Sort of amazing how it sort of transforms over just a couple of minutes. Now it's starting to get some decent foam going. I'm going to add a cup of AP flour. Cup and a half, rather, of AP flour. And a half cup whole wheat. Except I just did 2 cups. Let's take a half cup out of there. No one saw anything, chat. More. Salt in with the flour. Now that's nothing but bubbles on top. Get that quick stir up of the flour and salt in my hand here, just to sort of generally mix them all together. Add a bit of olive oil to our flour here. Just spraying some olive oil in there. You can now clearly see the foam line there that's been created by the yeast already. Give that a nice mix up. just going to sort of hand knead this with the spoon until it starts pulling a bit. If you're in a stand mixer, you do it until it completely pulls away. I just sort of want to get it until it starts really balling up. Hey, Dances with Felines. I'm going with that because my arm's tired. So, nah. Let's see, we got everything in here in right amounts. Close enough. Close enough. Hi, Suki. So we're going to allow this to sit now. This should be about 4 pitas here, if anyone's wondering what I'm shooting for here. Ooh, biddies! I just noticed that. I'm sorry my alerts aren't working all that great right now. Hopefully you got some acknowledgement there from the stream. No, I don't really have any plans for Dances with Felines, and part of the reason for that is that the number that I'm using to keep track of the streams is not 100% the actual number. Like, I know I've missed a couple, and there's been a couple of them been like broken up through the years. There's some that are just straight up missing, and I don't know if they exist or not. But without that taken in case, I've done about 35 more than my current number. Somewhere around that, and I don't know what that exact number is either. So it's going to be the first 1,000 since 2020. Beginning of 2020. And no, I have not given any serious thought to that. What do you think I should do for that, chat? That said, I haven't gone and purposely, manipulated that number or anything like that. It's just, honestly, some episodes are straight up missing. I've done, what do you call it, egg on stream, I think, before. The, sort of sulfury, very basic, curing of eggs. Well, that's a tough one because I don't have a favorite meal, I don't think. But yeah, we can maybe plan something for that. But I'd have to do the math to figure out when that's going to be. And by the way, chat, I absolutely, in no way, sort, or form, planned to make tofu on the 666th episode. Just happened by chance. I forget what my average is, and it's probably gone down since I last looked at it, but I was looking at almost every other day at one point. Because even though I'm pretty reliable with my 4 nights a week, sometimes I have to make them up and back and forth, and sometimes I just miss them, like when I went to TwitchCon. So let's get our chicken proofing here next, or chicken marinating here next. Scratching my board. Let's double check for bones. Who knows who cut these things? And let's remove the skin. Come on, work with me, skin. Just peel. Yeah, that's better. Just peel. I don't really have a mobile rig. I most certainly don't have a actual mobile rig. I can sort of do some mobile video using NDI here at home over my Wi-Fi, but I absolutely don't have the IRL backpacks that they have set up, and I don't have the money to. Sorry, I don't have the money to rent that. They cost like $3,000. it would be a cool trip to go back there at some point. I had not thought about doing it with Stream whatsoever. I don't know what kind of a reception that would get or not. And as it is, there's sort of a public and private setup, at least when I was there, 20 plus years ago. 20 years ago. 20 years ago this year. Oh, man. They also have an alumni week. I'm annoyed with them too. I'm just annoyed with everyone. Everyone's annoying me. Just leave me alone. School's got a new administration. First new president in like 20 plus years. He started before I was there, and he just now retired. And the new guy, there's been some controversy over the new guy because he apparently doesn't have a straight culinary background. He comes a little bit more from the business side of things. And I do more ignoring of chat than chat ignoring me. At least I think. So there's a little question in how this guy is, but they just also sent out this, check in with us and win a trip. And the trip, what annoyed me is the trip sounds like one of these new, the sort of like new hotel version of timeshares, if anyone's familiar with that, where you sort of like rent this ability to go to all of these different resorts, and it turns into you can only go to them at certain times, and there's tons of added fees, and it sounded like it was a complete racket. They wanted all your information. It was being run by a third company. I'm just like, I ain't gotta deal with this. But I also emailed the guy who's been there since I was there that, hey, you want my info, get it yourself. Do some bottled lemon juice. Soy. Give that a little bit of a meat massage. Garlic powder. Or granulated garlic powder. Cayenne. And give that another mix to get that all in the marinade. we'll let that hang out for a bit while we work on some of the other ingredients here. Persian cucumbers. Because they looked good and they were being kept on ice. I'm gonna make some slivered white onions today, chat. I think we're going with 2 of these. The sandwich turned out good. Overall, not... Some ways I was impressed, some ways I was not impressed. I mean, I realize it's an MRE. It's not like... I mean, at least the U.S. Armed Forces also has, like, full-on restaurants and trailers that they'll move to actual bases. By itself, I was not impressed, but as far as what it's intended for, and if it was something I was eating out in the field, and I could survive on those in a month or 2. I wouldn't want to do it for my entire, like, service or whatever. And they're also, you know, all full of chemicals and stuff, too, that I don't normally eat nearly as much of. The whole thing turned out to be a lot better than I originally expected it probably was going to be. Like, I'm glad I took the approach towards the last stream that I did, where let's just see what I can make with this, rather than trying to come up with some elaborate meal. Like, I didn't even know necessarily what I was getting in there. I think good is perhaps gracious for that final product. It was okay. It was very obviously having pieces of the other bread in it, though. Breadsticks were good. They didn't really stick in my head because they were just that night sort of a thing. Whereas the other bread I ate the next day too. So we got onion, we got white onion, we got cucumber. I think we need to do some grated carrot. This means, though, that I need to clean the grater. We're going to give this a scrub with a new scrub brush. New scrubby. Rather than peeling it. Ooh. Blackened chicken Alfredo. What kind of pasta? Or is it, you mean one of the like frozen bags? Do they do them in bags? Like, I don't know all of the like frozen brands. Like, I know Zattarini's blackened seasoning deal. I can't remember if they're bags or what companies do the bags of pasta. So I think I'm going to save this here as a little extra garnish for our pitas, separate from the I'm gonna take a bit more after looking at that in the bowl. You want a pinch for 4. Do you think that's 4 pinches, chat? I maybe should have grabbed the bigger glass bowl for this. Not even mixing the chicken in there yet. So the whole thing with the storage of the trailer brings up in my mind the whole idea of, am I still keeping this trailer? Like, I had been keeping the trailer in hopes that maybe I could either restart something at some point here in California, but more likely I was going to take it with me somewhere else and still use it myself in some fashion, especially considering there are states with much laxer requirements on the trailer itself. California is about the most strict when it comes to mobile food units. At least the laws, according to the state, whether they're enforced locally is entirely different animal, but so you got some low-fat Greek yogurt here. It's sort of funny. A couple years ago, everyone was like, Californians are all moving to Texas. Now we got Texans trying to take over our local government. Not only, do they enforce it or not, they read laws differently. and charge things differently. And like, for example, it's been a couple of years, so things probably have changed in some sense. But when I was working with things in Sonoma County, they had a mobile food facility, or mobile temporary food facility permit, which the vast majority, I wasn't, because I had a full like mobile kitchen, but the vast majority of people working at farmers markets were doing a temporary food facility permit. In Marin, which there's some politics to the farmers markets in Marin. There's politics for farmers markets everywhere, but sorry, missing this with the ads. If you have a permit in Marin, you have to have, and this is what makes sense to me, you have to have a permit per location. Like, you can use that, you can have that location be the farmer's market and be there year-round on that permit. But in Sonoma County, it was, you just need a temporary permit. And you can, as long as you write down, which I doubt anyone really wrote this all down for them, because they were always complaining about being able to find people, is they allow you to do, like, and so you can get one permit for like $150, $200, I forget what it was, and do all of the farmers markets off of that in our county. Or if you're in Marin, you would have to get a separate permit for every farmers market you do. And in Marin, there's basically one or two farmers markets, major farmers markets, and a number of smaller ones that are meh. In Sonoma, we got all sorts of farmers markets. Though I sort of doubt that's, well, let's see how these measures work. Sonoma County might be hurting in the ag department here soon if one of the measures passes. I'm just going to use this whole pack of dill tonight. We're going to make this delicious tonight. Camera, why'd you stop following me? Darn it. Nice. When I first moved out here, the small food market and the small food game in Sonoma was absolutely booming. We had so many small startups starting. So many, whether it was packaged, farmers market, whatever. And I was saying, like, I don't see it, like, still... Not, I mean, there's still people starting up, but not even remotely close to what was going on pre-COVID. But we've also had some California laws that have been passed. I did a fair amount trying to fight some of them. and didn't really have much success, despite everyone I talked to being like, yeah, that's stupid. Why are we doing that? Which, of course, Newsom signed. Not the biggest fan. Like, I wanted to see Newsom versus Trump as far as the debate, as far as chatting and going back and forth. I don't want to see him as president. Coffee break. Do I throw all of that in the salad chat? What sort of stuff do you make, freelancer? Do you have like a I can never remember the proper term for it. The like, you can make things in your home license. Okay, yeah. We have those laws again in California where you can do that to a degree, but again, it's also how your counties interpret them. Ours want basically nothing to do with it, or mine wants basically nothing to do with it. And usually it's only on things that are like bread, jarred items. That is Dill Head of Broccoli. Welcome in. So we've got Persian cucumbers, white onion, shredded carrot, Greek yogurt, dill, garlic, splash of soy, Worcestershire. Captions just nails that one every time. Salt. I did add some soy there, but not enough. Black pepper. MSG. Just want to make sure everything gets a nice even coat. Make sure you don't have a ton of stacked cucumber slices without getting any goodness in between them. Got to get in between all those toes. There we go. There's that. I am going to add some parsley to that a little bit later. But first we're going to deal with taters. We need some taters. Right, chat? Still working on this same bag. They're starting to sprout, chat. Oh no, they're starting to sprout. Couldn't go through them quick enough. This bag is... wow. So we're just going to pop off all of these little roots, attempts. Yeah, that's one that they, there was someone at the Marin Farmers Markets back when I was there that used to do strudel. I mostly did farmers markets in Sonoma, but I did a year or two in Marin trying to max out the number of markets I could do a week. If it was my yard, I would, probably. Nope, that salad's pretty much how it is. How it's going to be, head of broccoli. That's going to get grilled chicken added into it, though. And that's going to be in the pitas. So that's going to be our combo for inside our pita bread. Is that plus chicken that's marinating over here. We're going to grill that on the grill pan. Toss those together. Put them in there with maybe some more carrot, maybe some more onion as a garnish. And then potatoes are... I'm going to be frying these. Actually, I'm thinking of boiling and then frying these. So far, we've got our basic stuff that's gotta, or rather can and most likely is better sitting around for a bit. This is going to be better the longer it sits together. This is one of the things probably better the next day, other than how crisp the cucumbers are in it. This, we're getting there with this. This could use a little attention here, but after I get the potatoes going. And the chicken, it's got a marinade on it that's lemon juice and soy. You don't want to let it sit on that forever, but hour, 2 hours is not going to be end of the world. Oh, dad joke. Excuse me a second, chat. Turn off. Thought something funny was going on outside, I guess not. Must have been just another nut hitting my house. Or the house, it's not my house. Like I said, it's like, there's nuts everywhere. Like, there's gotta be some, like I was saying before, trees sometimes will inundate with nuts to overpower the rodents and stuff that are eating them. Oh, it's a little windy outside, that's why. Alright, heat on those potatoes. Gonna throw a little salt in the water with those potatoes. Egg my house? No. Though my house is not really in a place where I would get a ton of that sort of a thing. No, no TP, no egg, no. Bread, Pitas. Let's do a 4-corner fold on this. It's losing some of its poof. We've been allowing this to hang out for a while. I feel sorry for the old owners of the storage place. Like, I somehow get the suspicion that somehow the bank did this takeover for the now national company that's handling it. But last month when we were getting the initial info of all of this, it was with the original crew that used to run the office. I come back, and I've been dealing with them for years. And I come back this month, and on top of the other aggravations I was telling you about earlier, completely new dude. The store was closed for like a, we'll be back in 10 minutes sort of a thing when I got there. Just like the whole thing from start to finish was like, I do not want to give you my money. Allow this to set for a second time. While our taters are cooking. I'm going to sort of shallow fry these tonight, the potatoes. Why aren't you following me? Do a little more oil than that, but like maybe only halfway up the side of the potatoes. Chopped my hair this morning, chat. With my patented system of cutting my hair myself, I let it grow to the point that I can have it here, cut it, put it on this side of my head, even it back up, move on with life. Nice head of broccoli. That's awesome that you have neighbors that are like that. Like, I feel like things are gotten pretty cold here over the last couple of years. I've had some issues with a couple, but also the fact that my family typically did July 4th things, but every July 4th here they were having like a block party. I don't think they're doing that anymore. Since I've moved in, there's been a bunch of people that have moved in and are trying to build second, third, fourth units on, like, not a giant area of land. So they can see me. Was it you that said you're starting a new job today? Or is that someone else? I don't know that I really conveyed this last time, but I wish you best of luck with the new job. I hope it works out well for you, and if you don't enjoy the job, I hope you enjoy the money. What else do we got going here? Let's get our... Oh, I gotta wait for this to boil before we can do our grill pan. We can move this out of the way and swap it. Sorry to hear that, head of broccoli. That's a bummer. 15 years, too, is a long time. That's a lot of memories. I'm sure the cats would eat it. Just waiting for the potatoes to come up to a nice full boil here. They're light. They're a very light boil right now. Depending on who you talk to, they're at a simmer or a boil right now. But once we get up to a nice solid boil there, I'm going to turn that off. I don't want them to keep churning because I don't want them to break up the potatoes. I just want to do a majority of the cook on the potatoes, especially on the outside, get them all nice and starchy and cook starchy so that oil gives something to crisp up. That does remind me we should do pan and parchment for drying those before frying them. Usually doesn't take much to dry them, just a couple of minutes in the air, because boiling water evaporates pretty quick when you remove most of it. Weather's been good lately. Though I'm happy, the weather here, I'm generally happy as long as we aren't in the 90s or the hundreds. It generally doesn't get cold enough here that it really bothers me. I mean, worst thing, throw an extra cover on the bed. My bed's sort of the cold point of the house. And so, like, as long as it isn't hot enough that I'm sweating in my own house half the day, you know, with my cute little air conditioner trying to do it, I'm pretty good. How's the weather for everyone else? Hopefully everyone else is having beautiful weather. The news has already moved on from North Carolina, even though I'm sure North Carolina is still not enjoying things. Same thing for Florida. It's sort of like you get 1 or 2 days of news in the national news for like real events that deserve attention, and then yeah, and the media has been so demolished by so many things. Because I'm sitting here thinking of Press Democrat here in Sonoma County, which is our main newspaper, bought up by one of the big names, I want to say Gannett. And it really just, like, most of the people, like, I used to know from the farmers market, some of the people that used to do local writing and stuff, none of them are working there anymore. They aren't doing any it's just repeating what's going on with their national message. You can trust media as long as you know who's paying them. You know, who's greasing their pockets for them to exist. I'm going to consider that up to a boil. So I've cut the heat on that, and I'm going to move that back behind our oil. Let them hang out there for a minute or two. Another reason not to like shellfish. Why? Because they're shellfish. Turn the oven on. I decided I'm going to use the pizza stone for the pitas. For the pitas. That is not what I said, captions. Captions. That it did justice rise. Off, 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 off. I hope you're heating oven. It's taken a turn for the more complicated. Again. But at the same time, I am making considerable progress. I spent a couple hours at it again this morning. It's not fun trying to figure out how chat is going to react and test things in chat when there's no chat. I think we're going to do the pita bread and then we're going to do the potatoes drying off. What you looking at, bot? Or camera? Yeah, I'm over here. I sort of wish my kitchen was a little bit more like Alton's home kitchen. Is he still making regular videos on YouTube? I know he was doing stuff during those years. So that's one down. You know, I know there's all sorts of tools for doing it. I'm not sure what one has the egg coddler specific terminology. Or is that the thing that, like, holds an egg? Am I getting this completely wrong? Are those the little, like, stand cups? They're a little, like, fancy wine glass for your egg? Or are they more like these? Or I have silicone, little things you can throw in the water to poach an egg. Somewhat contain the egg. Am I gonna have to Google what an egg coddler is now? Something about being over the oven or over the stove makes my earbud want to fall out of my ear. These sort of work on the same principle as puff pastry, by the way, chat. They're a very wet dough that I'm mostly only able to work with because I'm throwing a ton of flour down on the counter. And so the yeast is helping create bubbles, but once we throw this into the oven, especially straight onto that hot heated pizza stone, it's going to immediately start to heat up and boil that water and create even more bubbling inside of it, which is going to help that lift, and hopefully we'll get some bubbles tonight. Hopefully we'll get some bubbly pita. It's lacking an M and a T. And it's got too many I's for my liking. But what's coming to my mind with that scramble is the Japanese company that makes the MSG I use. Okay, so we've got these rolled out now. Do want to make sure they're not sticking up. That should hopefully finish our flour use for tonight. I put the flour away, chat. I should have got that one. I got 2 cracks out of the back that time. Woohoo, good one. So we'll take our potatoes and strain them now, after they've been hanging out in that nice hot water for a while. So they're not cooked through, but they're part cooked. They're hopefully at least somewhat cooked on the outside. I would be not shocked whatsoever if you can buy a squirt bottle of it at the store. I mean, they sell Thousand Island, don't they? I say that knowing full well there might still actually be a bottle of Thousand Island in my fridge I need to get rid of. give it 1 or 2 more minutes for that oven to finish heating up, and for these doughs to do a little more proofing. Though me folding it probably does not greatly improve its proofing ability. That's what I can use for this. Give me one moment here, chat. Went and grabbed my cut parchment for the pita press, or for the tortilla press. And I'm going to use that for throwing the tortillas into the oven onto the pizza stone. That way I don't have to worry about, you know, are they sticking to the table? They're not going to stick to the parchment. I have some silicone mats. I so rarely use them though. I always want to worry about getting them dirty or ruining them. They're good for some uses. They're making all sorts of stuff for baking out of silicone now though. Like I've got a couple of cake molds that are made out of silicone now. And all sorts of, you know, like protective stuff, because you can use high heat silicone, and it's... I know Silpats were not just straight silicone, they were more than just silicone, but get the chicken to flip. Get the other side with some more of that lemon and soy and seasoning. Alright, let's give our first pita a try here, chat. Just gonna throw it in on the cast iron. That was a little far in the back, but it'll do. Give it a minute or so. Time seems to go so slow when you're paying attention to it. Doesn't it, chat? That one's gonna poof, chat. I think we got a poofer. Well, if I knew how to cook everything that I knew about, this stream wouldn't be very useful for me. Ah, my tongs broke it, I think. That just doesn't... I think we're okay with that. On the edge of whether I think that was properly cooked through or not. Let's give our second one a shot here. And we can do that while I'm doing that. I don't want to get distracted too much from these. It's only going to be a couple of minutes. What you looking at, camera? I'm gonna give this one another couple of seconds more than I did the first one. That's roughly what I gave the first one here. And we have Poofy Pita. Second pita was Poofy. Give the oven a moment to recover. I'm wait until I hear that oven kick on again. Piquant. They make that stuff in New York City. Just missing the E. Is that how it's spelled? Or is it more simply spelled than that? Let's give this other one a shot here. Almost missed the stone on that one. When I was saying that the coding of the new bot system has taken another expansion, another more complication. Yeah. I'm basically rewriting the whole thing again. However, at the same time, I'm probably going to be quicker at it this time around, because one of the things I've discovered is I can pass a ton of files at once to ChatGPT back and forth. Before I was trying to play games with, hey, can you edit this to do this? And going back and forth, and sometimes it'll change other random stuff, and you have to make sure that it didn't fix change other things. Like, one of the things it always keeps trying to do to me is, I basically have 3 major globals handling, or 3 files handling different types of logging. One's sort of like if things crash, that's a problem. One is sort of like a log of chat and other things that could be sort of like a backup to other things if things go wrong. And the third one is sort of more like handling crashes and backups and times when my bot is not running. And the third one is just supposed to be like a running tally, like, you know, it gets deleted and refreshed pretty regularly by scripts and stuff like that. The other 2 are more being saved for prosperity, and so I've got them with file names being put in there with timestamps, so we know, you know, what day it is that log came from. Even though there's timestamps in the logs too, but And it keeps trying to do that for the third one, when it doesn't make sense at all, and the third one can actually break things if you put it in there for the third one. It keeps doing that to me. I have to keep correcting it. Huh? I'm happy to have all of you in chat. You all are amazing. I don't know what to talk about. And I haven't gotten into it at all, but I've realized now that actually Twitch's API allows me a lot more info on people than I originally thought. I have to get like the developer API, which I'm not bothering with yet because it's beyond what I really need to start with, at least. But I could be Mr. Snoopy if I really wanted to. Going in with our last pita. Ah! No! That one wanted to try and go in the hinge or something, I don't know. Came pretty close to burning my fingers there with fingertips with that paper too. Yeah, it's just fingertips. Grand scheme of things, burning my fingertips is a pretty small thing to worry about. Thinking about cousins in much worse situations. Cancer sucks, chat. Fuck cancer. Give this a stir up, make sure any of that liquid coming out from the salt and that from the cucumbers and onion and carrot there. And cucumber's probably going to lose the most liquid, but all of them are going to lose some. Give that a mix up and make sure that's all still happy and hanging out together. Anyone out there familiar with that TikTok cucumber salad that's causing Northern European countries to run out of cucumbers? How close that is to that? Pretty sure it doesn't include carrot. I can't remember if it's yogurt or some other, whether it's yogurt or sour cream or something else. But it's soy, Worcestershire, some sort of dairy or mayo, and cucumbers, MSG. This is really a test to see how many Gen Zers are out there, how many Zoomers we have in chat. Ah, it's delicious. Zoomers are like the current teenagers, maybe just entering college, I think. I think I read the other day they're calling the next generation after that Gen V. Or maybe I was completely reading, maybe that's something completely else. I did not read whatever full article that was. Which makes zero sense to me, but hey, I'm an old guy at this point. Hey, Makawaka. Makawaka. Chicken or potatoes first? I think we're doing chicken first. I mean, technically we could try and do them both at the same time. But why? I'm in no rush. I mean, I'm a little hungry, but because there's not enough green in with that yet. parsley used to be our mint before we used mint. It's the original breath freshener. It does smell a little bit like fresh cut grass. Make sure this door is closed because we'll turn on a couple other fans here because it might be getting a little smoky here soon. Why does every bathroom always got like 20 switches in it? 20 is an exaggeration. Why can't I just have a switch that just turns everything on in the bathroom that I need? We got some loveliness on there that we're burning into there. Probably a little bit of that leftover gochujang from the last time we used this. I have whetstones, and I have I believe a 3000 whetstone for my fine sharpening. However, 90% of the time I just run them through a machine these days. I've got a proper 20-degree angle grinder. Just go right through it. If I was back into working fine dining at nice restaurants, I would definitely be breaking the stones out and grinding out my knives in particular ways that I want them for how I'm going to be using them for work. But here at home, I've sort of... I think a lot more of a knife being sharp or dull. Yes, it matters if it's sharp or dull in a production kitchen where you're trying to get stuff done. And a duller knife is going to be more likely to tear when it's cutting rather than cutting. So wounds made with dull knives are going to take longer to heal than sharp knives. At home, I think it's almost more important to know the status of your knife than is it perfectly sharp. Sharp knife is always better though. Like, okay, we're smoking. We be smoking. So I think it's time to throw ourselves some chicken on this grill. You can see the difference in color between the breast, where the tenderloin was laying against the breast and didn't get all the marinade compared to the rest of it. Throw that in the sink just in case I want to keep the liquid for something. I mean, marinade's good for something maybe. I don't really have plans for it though, so it's probably going down the sink, but Worcestershire. Nice one, Justice Rice. Fan is now being kicked on high because I noticed the smoke is escaping my oven fan. Hoping to not set off the smoke alarm today. I set off the smoke alarm the other day after stream. I was just sitting down to dinner and I'd opened up my bedroom door because it's usually great for cooling down the house a little bit, being kept separate from here, and just started blaring. Hi, Cosmic. Did I not say hi to you earlier? I think I skipped saying welcome, Cosmic. How is dinner going? We're doing pretty well. We've made up our salad mixture here, our cucumber salad that I just added some parsley to. We got carrot and white onion with yogurt and garlic seasoning and some cayenne in there. We got some of the carrot and onion reserved as sort of like a garnisher with the pitas. We've got our pitas all cooked. And we've got our potatoes par cooked here. They have been boiled, they've yet to be fried. We're going to give our chicken our first flip. Well, that's fun. A little fun out of the usual get together. Lasagna does sound good. I'm doing raviolis on Sunday though, so that's gonna probably do a good job at feeding that pasta desire. And you had garlic bread. That's a big one. I didn't do the garlic bread when I made the spaghetti. I was sort of regretting it. He's not in chat, so I shouldn't talk about him, but I'm going to anyways. And I got after Ozzy last time he posted a photo in Discord. He did spaghetti and meatballs with like buttered bread, and in the mod chat I was like, what is this non-garlic bread stuff without having when you're having spaghetti? And then I didn't make garlic bread the other day. Some ugly looking chicken there, chat, huh? No one wants to eat that. smoky. Opening the window. Fix my earbud here real quick. Alright, chat, I think we're going to take a couple minute break here and allow my house to air out a bit. So, we're going to go AFK for... Let's do a 10-minute AFK. We'll be back to do our potato frying and fixing up our salad for our sandwiches, our pitas. See you folks in about 10 minutes. We'll run the next ad, so we'll be ad-free for the rest of the stream after this.
You are now looking at a slice of bread being spread with creamy style Skippy peanut butter, as only Mary Ellen can spread it there. All right, now, as you look at that, don't want you to leave me, because I want to show you something, believe it or not, that a lot of people like even better. Suppose we were to take some fresh roasted peanuts here, and like Mary Ellen has been doing all evening, and putting them in a nut chopper here. Give a couple more little chugs, will you, please? Mm-hmm. I think that'll do it just fine. Now you find in there some just tiny little golden nuggets of roasted peanuts. And they are colossal. Now, I want to try something here. Suppose we were to take these, now let me try an experiment, do you mind, honey? And we'd sprinkle them over the creamy style Skippy. Say, how is that, huh?
Ooh, that looks good.
It does look good. All I did that for was to tell you that you can get that and enjoy it anytime you want. You won't have to go through any chopping process either, because the Skippy people do that for you in chunk style. That's done for you up in the factory. Now, chunk style, you see, has sprinkled all through it very generously through the entire jar those golden little nuggets that you saw there, just about like that. So that's already done for you there. Now, of course, either style, whether it's cream or chunky, if you get Skippy, you are getting the peanut butter that stays fresh right down to the last spoonful in the jar. And so I make it very simple again. I want you to know that this is an honest fact.
If you like peanuts, you'll like Skippy.
Daddy! Gee, Mom was counting on that Jell-O cake for Johnny's Scout meeting tomorrow. Okay, Daddy. It's so easy to make a cake with Betty Crocker cake mix. I'll make her another one. White cake, devil's food, yellow cake.
It's a good thing her mom's modern. I'm Betty Crocker. With my yellow cake mix, all you do is add water and a couple of fresh eggs. The other ingredients are in the package. Same fine things you'd use right in your own home. You'll get a perfect cake just like this, or write General Mills, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they'll send your money back. A high cake, a light cake, a better tasting cake.
And don't think it isn't. That's why Betty Crocker herself says,
I guarantee a perfect cake every time you bake, cake after cake after cake.
Say, do you remember this old milk glass satin hen? Well, you know, milk glass was an early American favorite. And when the folks in the old days wanted something really delightful, they'd take one of their milk glass goblets and pour some very fine wine right into it. Well, now, you know, it's Welch's wine that is keeping this wonderful tradition alive. A real wine for folks who really want the best. Yes, today's answer to this age-old family tradition is Welch's family wine, the answer to warm hospitality and really gracious living, and the wine that so many Americans enjoy these wintry days. You know, there is very good reason for this ever-increasing popularity of Welch's wine. Now, you folks know that all sweet Concord kosher wines are made from grape juice. And everybody knows who has been making the very finest grape juice for the past 85 years. Welch's, of course. And that's right, the only kosher wine made from Welch's grape juice is naturally Welch's kosher wine. Now, when you want the best in grape juice, you buy Welch's. So, doesn't it make sense then, if you want the best and most delicious kosher wine, you insist on Welch's family wine? You get several bottles tomorrow. Try the half-gallon size. You enjoy the wine of all occasions. That's right, when it comes to wine, you'll do well to insist on Welch's.
Alexis Lachine wines are full of flavor. Alexis Lachine wines are dry. Alexis Lachine wines are mellow. Drink an Alexis Lachine wine with any kind of food, or anytime you feel like relaxing with a drink. Alexis Lachine, fine French wines.
Now, at your favorite grocery store, the most amazing food wrap ever developed, Saran Wrap.
Have you tried Saran Wrap? It really is amazing. Saran Wrap is crystal clear plastic. It keeps everything you wrap in plain sight. And look, Saran Wrap clings like magic. It makes a neat package of anything you wrap, without strings or tape or rubber bands. Foods stay fresh far longer and taste better, too, because the flavor is locked in. Now you can prepare sandwiches for picnics and lunch boxes ahead of time and be sure they'll stay fresh and tasty. You see, Saran Wrap is a wonderful time saver as well as a food saver. Prove it in your own kitchen. Buy a roll of Saran Wrap today and you won't be without it again.
Get Saran Wrap at your grocer's. Saran Wrap is a product of the Dow Chemical Company.
Wow. Say, you gals think you're lucky you can get Swanson TV turkey dinners, but I say Swanson TV turkey dinners are a bigger break for husbands. Now, you take me. I can be early, I can be late, I can bring pals to dinner anytime I please, and get this, my wife never panics. She just takes Swanson TV turkey dinners from the freezing compartment of our refrigerator when I'm a little off schedule.
Oh, and right you are, Jack. And that is because Mary Lou knows that she can have a swell dinner ready in just 25 minutes.
Right.
And talk about easy. Well, she just pops Swanson TV turkey dinners in a hot oven. You know, they're oven ready in individual heat and serve trays. With Swanson TV turkey dinners, you just heat and you serve big and hearty slices of moist, tender Swanson turkey with grand giblet gravy and special cornbread dressing and fluffy whipped sweet potatoes with golden Swanson butter and garden fresh peas with more butter.
Mother Murphy, lucky me. My wife uses Swanson TV turkey dinners. And make your husband lucky, too. Get Swanson TV turkey dinners, Swanson TV fried chicken dinners, Swanson TV beef dinners from your grocer's big freezer.
Univac, the giant electronic brain made only by Remington Rand, takes business statistics from magnetic tape, letters, numbers, and punctuation marks, processing them through its electronic circuits at phenomenal speeds. Univac can compute payrolls electronically, then produce printed checks in a flash. Over 8,000 checks an hour with this high-speed printer. Univac leads the field of electronic computing.
Coke time is anytime, anywhere. It's always time for ice-cold Coca-Cola.
May I sing to you? May I sing to you? Won't you listen to a song that's in my heart?
The Coca-Cola Company presents Coke Time with Fred Robbins, tonight's guest, Diane Carroll, and starring Eddie Fisher.
Bring back the thrill of the love that we shared when you cared. When hand in hand, I thought only you'd understand. Bring back the thrill of the wonderful life that we planned. Only we two, never lonely when I was with you. For we loved and we laughed in the sun, and the time that we spent was such fun. But I never thought we could part when I gave you my heart. So while you're away, night and day I will pray for you still. I'll wait until you return and you'll bring back the thrill.
Hi, chat. Welcome back. Welcome back. A little bit less smoky in here now. Little bit. So, where do we start with things? We got our chicken going. Let's get our oil heating for our potatoes. taters over here. Plate doesn't look very clean. I was going to put the plate over here, but that's a little hot still. We got our oven heating up, or our oil heating up over here. This is still blaring hot over here. I still got all the fans on, going full bore. Now I know in terms of machining what a bore is. What do they mean by going full bore? Like what type, like... Tuna. I don't know. Someone want to challenge Head of Broccoli? We have any challengers to Head of Broccoli's Scramble Supreme? Hey, Mel. We're getting there. You've missed 80%. We've got pitas made. We've got our cucumber yogurt salad made, other than adding the chicken in with this. We got carrots, white onion, Persian cucumbers, yogurt, seasonings, garlic seasoning. We got onion slivers and carrot slivers for our garnish for our pitas. And we're just about get going with the potatoes. I cut some wedge potatoes. I boiled them briefly. And now we're going to shallow fry them, about halfway the thickness of the potato wedges. Yeah, October, yeah. And I don't think we've seen the last of October's surprises. Somewhere between 230 and 260 there. Not sure if my body's trying to hiccup or cough. Or burp. Well, I'm glad you don't have to move out. That would be a royal bummer, have it break in, them have to do major repairs. During break, by the way, chat, I decided the chicken wasn't completely done, and despite the house being so smoky, and this made the AFK a little bit longer than I originally intended, I did butterfly these and throw them back on the grill for a second, make sure they were completely cooked through. Because this one was feeling a little bit under. Also, for anyone joining in, this chicken, before it got hit, before it made friends with the grill pan, was hanging out with some soy and lemon juice, and so it was marinated. I don't always marinate my meats here on stream, with it being a 2-3 hour stream most of the time. They're smelling about right. We got another 10 degrees though. Maybe some weird spelling of pate. Alright, going in with our first batch of taters. I guess we gotta do 3 batches here. I think I should have maybe boiled these a little bit longer than I did. Yeah, we killed the heat pretty good here. It's good I didn't add more. Carrot cake. Patat? Is that like potato in another language or play on potato? You can do muffins too. Or cupcakes and keep the sour cream frosting. I mean, who doesn't love it? There's always that shredded carrot slaw dish too. Like carrots, raisins, finely shredded carrot. I don't know if it's like a mayo base, if it's a slaw, if it's a salad dressing they mix in with that. But you can make all sorts of slaws with carrots and like apples or what have you. Can do carrot cake, carrot pancakes. Sort of like zucchini cakes, pancakes. You know, mix in a little egg, a little flour, and just fry it in a pan. Americans love our sugar. Love our imitation sugars, too. This has taken a while. It's a wonder. I'm wondering... Like, this is our first batch of probably 3 potatoes. It's going to be a minute frying some potatoes here, chat. They're starting to look nice, though. I still haven't got... I talked about it, I don't know, a week or 2 ago on stream, maybe even longer than that. That sort of like cupcake store that sort of kicked off that cupcake trend we had for a couple of years there is here in Sonoma. And I don't know if they're still around here or not, but I never made it in there. Even with the huge, like, cupcakes were everywhere for a couple of years there. I still want to give those even more time. Does your rye need a good bounce back? I'm thinking of West Wing. Do you gotta feel your rye bread? Nice, Mel. What temp have we gotten our oil back up to? Oh, we're almost back up to proper fry temp here. Fine salt over freshly fried taters. Leaving this big boy in there a little bit longer. Hi, Mel. Chicken juices overrunneth. I'm gonna throw one or two more taters in here. Okay, 3. I need a fry. Nicely cooked through. Nice and soft and snowy inside. These aren't the best potato for doing this. These are a little more creamy than fried, but they're okay like this too. Welcome in, crawl up. I'm frying taters. We got grilled chicken, we got freshly made pita bread, and we got a cucumber salad on the cutting board. That it is, head of broccoli. For some reason, that reminded me of, and it's got me wondering what I did with a grilling item that I used to own. I say used to own because I don't know where it is, so I don't know if I still own it. But I had like a veggie grill pan for on like a standard Weber standard round grill. I don't know what I did with that. It didn't work very well, which is maybe why I got rid of it, but do you have a pizza stone, Mel, or cast iron pan? Pizza stone's, I think, the best way to go. It's how I went with it today. It's a relatively simple dough. If you're not great with working with wet doughs, it can be a little challenging though, but it's a really wet dough. Fair amount of flour when you're rolling it out. You give it a little more time to proof. I probably actually questionably overproofed mine today. Mine was bubbling up pretty good today. I used a lot of yeast in this batch. Oh, I'm certain you could do that too, head of broccoli. I'm just thinking pizza stone or cast iron would be like, you get that thick metal to retain the heat when you put that. It's going to help the the evaporation of the water quicker to create steam and create lift. But I am certain a sheet pan would be a good alternative if you did not have either of the two. Even though it seems like it, I don't think I overcrowded this pan as much as the last one. These seem to be frying up a little bit quicker. I don't think it dropped as much in temp this time. Yeah, there's no way it dropped down to 280 and it's in 330s. I looked at tomatoes for tonight's dinner and was like, yeah, no. It's too late for tomatoes already again. All the local tomatoes are gone for the most part. Nice. Yeah, I've been itching for wanting to have a garden again of my own lately, but don't own my property. Cut this chicken while we're waiting. I'm just gonna sort of dice it up. Not sort of, I'm gonna dice it up. Give me vanilla ice cream with a little cinnamon and regular granulated sugar for a slight bit of crunch. I am a happy man. Fine salt over the top. Hey, it's Animal Island song. Ooh. Last batch of those. Gonna throw these lovely things here down in the oven to stay a little warm while we finish this last batch. Cheers, chap. Here's to a great weekend. Nice, Mel. We're gonna mix our chicken up with our salad now, or with our cucumber. See if I want to use all of this or not. I don't want to overload the cucumber salad here with chicken. We want just the right amount. I can always store the chicken in something else, if need be. But I think we can hide it in there. What do you think, chat? I think that can handle that. There's some four-letter words out there, Mel. And if you want a real tip on the four-letter words, most of them are in the first half of the dictionary because I gave up part way on 4 letters. I was like, no one's ever going to learn all of these. There's like 1,600 words here. 2 years later, we got people in chat that I think has half the list memorized. You're all amazing, chat. Thanks for hanging out with me. I think I'm going to go about this a little different tonight. We got our pita here. That looks like a good handle hold. So I think we're going to go from this side. It's got that whole fresh bread thing, too, when you make it at home. Though you don't always get them to nicely separate. That was the nicest one of the bunch, which is why I grabbed it. We have this one, which I think will mostly separate other than maybe right here. We have this one, that I don't think is going to separate over here. And this one, which maybe could have used another minute or two. Yeah. I usually make that joke, Mel. Or that I allude to that song often when I talk about keeping things. Gotta keep them separated. It's been a long time since I've actually heard that song. Is that a Soundgarden song? Or is that... What band is that? The Offspring, isn't it? That's it. Offspring. I said it before I saw it, Mel. Jinx. Fries, anyone? This wasn't my original plan. My original plan was I was going to do 2 smaller pitas, but I think this might look a little more interesting. I had hoped it wasn't going to just hide the fries. Sure wanted the fries to prop it up a bit more. Can never win. So could I, Mel. Carrots are hiding everything now. Playing with my food so it shows better. That's not going to look any better, so we're not going to take another photo of that. In fact, I'm going to turn it back around, mess or not. But I think that is going to call it for tonight. Probably should have did the traditional half slice on that instead of doing a full pita. Like, I think this is probably the better way to go about it in real life, but I don't think it's the best way to go for marketing it. Like, this is like Crunchwrap territory where you can just carry it, especially where I cut the sort of heel end and turned it back over into the inside. That way it absorbs even more before it falls apart. Oops. Well, thank you for hanging out with me, everyone. It was a fun night. Let's see here. I think we're going to leave it there, folks. Appreciate you for hanging out with me, having some fun. I will be back here on Sunday. Gonna be making ravioli. Gonna be doing more chicken, gonna be doing raviolis. Not sure 100% what I'm gonna do for a sauce with them. But it's been a minute since I've done some ravioli, so we're going to have some fun folding pasta. I hope you come back to join me on Monday, or Sunday. We've got Monday too, we got black bean soup with cornbread And we've got the ingredient challenge coming up on Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining. Have a great night, everyone. Have a great weekend. Go have some fun. Good night.